This is what your heel flap looks like when it's finished. You can see that we've got the ridged line of stitches, that's the slip stitches with the knit stitches in between. This is the right side, so that's the outside of your sock. And if we turn it over, this is what it looks like on the wrong side, the purl side. And these rows of slip stitches again that you can see here, this is what gives you a nice cushiony, chunky feel to your heel that should make it a bit more difficult for you to actually wear through before you've got to darn them. Having created the heel flap, it's now time to work the heel turn, and we're going to do that on these top stitches here from the heel flap, and that's going to bring the edges of the heel flap in to make your sock look more like a sock. If we have a look at this one, you can see that the heel flap is here, and then the heel turn, which is this V-shaped section here, allows the sock to turn a 90-degree angle, and then when you come to pick up the gusset stitches, then you'll just carry on knitting in that direction. To complete the setup row, I'm going to slip the first stitch and then I'm going to purl 16 stitches across the heel flap. Now if you've cast on more or less than 60 stitches for your sock, then you'll need to adjust this number, but it tells you how to do this in the pattern. And then I'm going to purl 2 together, purl 1, and then turn the heel flap ready for the next row. For the next row, this is row 2 of the heel turn on your pattern. I'm going to slip the first stitch and then I'm going to knit the next 5 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and now I'm going to create the next decrease. Now because this is on the knit side, then I'm going to do a knit decrease, and I'm going to use slip slip knit, which is a lovely flat professional looking decrease that works really well for a sock heel turn. I'm going to slip the first stitch knitwise, I'm going to slip the second stitch purlwise, I'm going to slide them both back onto the left hand needle and then knit them through the back of the loop, and then knit the next stitch and then turn the work ready for row 3. Now you can see that there's a gap appearing already, and this is great because this will help you to work out where your decreases should be. And you can see that we've got stitches on either side, and here are the stitches that we're going to be doing the heel turn with. So row 3, you're going to slip the first stitch and then purl 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and this brings you to 1 stitch on either side of the gap. Because we're on a purl row, you're going to do the purl decrease, which is purl 2 together. So put your needle purlwise through both of those stitches, wind the yarn around, and then purl 1 at the end and turn. It's a little bit difficult at the moment to see how it's going to work out, but it really is, I promise. So just trust how the pattern is written and just follow it, and it absolutely will work. The next row is a knit row. Now because we've already done 5 and then 6 purls, then this is going to be 7. So we slip the first stitch, knit 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There are the stitches on either side of the gap, and that shows us where our decrease is going to be. Going to slip the first stitch knitwise, the second stitch purlwise, slip them both back onto the left hand needle, knit them through the back loop, and then knit 1. Turn your work around again. Now because you've just knitted 7, then you'll be purling 8 this time, and you can see how we're bringing 1 in from each side every time. So slip the first one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's the gap again. Going to purl 2 together, purl 1, and then turn. Now just about now you can start to see that the heel turn is taking shape.